Shocking royal secrets that will leave you speechless, betrayal, cover-ups, and revenge that even the Queen never imagined. Prince William just made a move so personal, so ruthless, it could change everything in the royal family forever. And it's all connected to loyalty, family, and decades of hidden pain.
Scrib prompt immediately after hook.
Before we reveal every shocking detail, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss any moment of this explosive story. Every secret, every betrayal, and every act of revenge is about to unfold. Prince William has done what no one else dared to do. He targeted Camilla's family one by one, cutting them off from power, influence, and money. But the real spark came when a dark secret about Camilla and her ex-husband surfaced. A secret so personal that it left William not just angry, but determined. Inside the palace, sources say the room fell silent as William looked at the payroll for the Duchy of Cornwall and spotted one name: Annabel Elliot, Camilla's sister. She had been quietly collecting money year after year while remaining publicly polished and respected. But William knew exactly what she had done, protecting an affair that destroyed his mother, Diana, emotionally and mentally. He didn't hesitate. Without a press release, without a word, Annabel was removed. The decision was cold, precise, and deeply personal. In September 2022, William inherited the Duchy of Cornwall, worth over $1 billion, funding the heir to the throne and controlling properties across Cornwall, Wales, and the Isles of Scilly. This inheritance gave William full control over contracts, income, and payroll. He found Annabel Elliot still on the payroll, a woman who had been loyal to Camilla, protecting secrets while Diana's life collapsed. For nearly 2 decades, she profited while history repeated itself. But William is no ordinary heir. He is strategic, patient, and emotionally intelligent. The moment he could, Annabel, sending a clear message: betrayal has consequences, and loyalty is everything. William's anger isn't just about money or status. It's about decades of pain, manipulation, and betrayal. From an early age, William saw the effects of Camilla and her family's actions on Diana. At 11, he read the infamous Tampon Gate transcripts. The nation laughed at the scandalous jokes, but William understood the hidden reality. His father was lying, his mother was suffering, and no one seemed to care. Camilla had guided Charles toward Diana, seeing her as someone she could control. Diana, naive and unprepared, became a pawn in Camilla's plan. This created a foundation of pain, betrayal, and lifelong wounds that William carries to this day. Diana's struggles were severe. She developed eating disorders, mental health issues, and faced constant gaslighting from the palace. William and Harry were left without grief counseling after her death. At age 15, William walked silently behind his mother's coffin, holding himself together for the world, while his entire childhood trauma remained inside him. The names William and Harry gave Camilla during their teen years, Lady Macbeth, Cruella de Vil, and Wicked Witch of the West, were not casual insults. They represented deep emotional truths, women smiling while causing irreparable damage. William's patience has limits. Camilla has finally crossed the line, his wife, Kate. This is where William shifts from patience to action. When false stories about Meghan making Kate cry were planted, William called his father, demanding justice. Give P and Camilla an inch. They take a mile. They've done this to me for the last time. Charles defended Camilla, repeating patterns from William's childhood. But William is no longer powerless. He is acting, deliberately, strategically, and emotionally. Camilla's manipulations go decades back. Her ex-husband, Andrew Parker Bowles, was involved in secret affairs, sometimes with Camilla's own friends. She returned to Charles while these betrayals happened, weaving a web of control, manipulation, and public loyalty. Even today, Andrew continues to represent the royal family in public events, maintaining appearances while reminding William of the past betrayals. William's decisions are informed by this complex history. Every move is precise, aimed at restoring justice and loyalty in the monarchy. This is not palace gossip. This is decades of power, betrayal, and emotional trauma. Every action William takes carries weight. It's personal, political, and emotional. He has dismantled Camilla's network, protected his wife, and finally avenged decades of wrongdoing against his mother. This story is about justice, loyalty, and reclaiming power in the face of decades-long manipulation. By late 2025, the tension between Camilla and Kate had reached a boiling point behind palace walls. Camilla, naturally territorial and irritable, was increasingly frustrated with Kate's growing influence. The underlying issue was clear. When William ascends to the throne, Kate becomes queen. This marks the end of Camilla's central role, her power, and her status in the royal family. Everything she has fought for over decades would vanish in an instant. Camilla, unwilling to accept this, began to make life difficult for Kate. The public may not have seen it clearly, but behind closed doors, Camilla began pushing back in subtle yet venomous ways. She wanted Charles to remain king for as long as possible, a tactic to extend her reign and keep her position secure. Then came September 2025, a moment the world watched, but few truly understood. President Trump and Melania were visiting Windsor Castle for a state event. William and Kate were the first to greet them, and a natural warmth flowed between Kate and Melania. But when Camilla entered, everything shifted. On camera, before millions of people, Camilla waved Kate away with a sharp, dismissive gesture. It was as if Kate didn't even matter. She stepped away, visibly startled. The future Queen of England was treated like an insignificant guest, dismissed by the woman who would soon no longer be the most powerful figure in the royal family. William, watching all of this unfold, was furious. Sources confirmed that Camilla's public disrespect for his wife tested their bond. At that very same event, William greeted Camilla with nothing more than 2 brief kisses on the cheek and moved on. Normally, the royal family would follow strict protocol during greetings, but William's gesture was a deliberate deviation. It was the kind of cold, calculated interaction reserved for a distant acquaintance, not a senior royal. This small action, unnoticed by many but recorded by every observer in the palace and the press, spoke volumes. It was a powerful statement, a signal of everything William was willing to do now that he controlled everything Camilla depended on. He had already cut off Annabelle without a word. Camilla knew he could easily do the same to her. Royal expert Christopher Anderson explained that Camilla had always been a little afraid of William, but not in the way one might think. She feared him because he was a man who had quietly observed everything from the shadows. From the moment he was a grieving teenager, William had watched his mother's pain and his father's betrayal. Now, as an adult, he had the power to make those who wronged him and his family pay. For years, Camilla had outmaneuvered everyone who underestimated her. But William was different. He had never underestimated her. He had been watching her actions, both public and private, ever since he was 11 years old. The moment Kate was pushed aside in front of the entire world, William knew exactly what Camilla was doing, and he had seen enough. The reckoning had begun. In February 2026, a report surfaced that had royal watchers doing a double take. Queen Camilla had signed a power of attorney document transferring ownership of Ray Mill House, her private estate in Wiltshire, to her children Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopes. Ray Mill House wasn't just any property. It had been purchased in 1996 with Camilla's divorce settlement from Andrew Parker Bowles. She had always considered it her sanctuary, a place where she could retreat from the pressures of royal life. It was where she found solace, where she could escape from the public eye. On the surface, transferring this property to her children could be seen as sensible estate planning. Camilla was 78, and Charles was fighting cancer. Yet everyone had missed the crucial detail. Camilla's actions had been motivated by fear. William's recent quiet removal of Annabelle from the royal payroll had sent a crystal clear message to Camilla. If William could cut off someone who had been loyal to her for decades, he could easily do the same to her. Camilla wasn't just making plans for her children, She was securing her most valuable asset against the day William would become king. Camilla's funding comes from the sovereign grant, which is controlled by the reigning monarch. When William becomes king, he will have the power to reshape the monarchy, including how and to whom money is allocated. In a monarchy that William has already expressed plans to streamline, even people as close to the crown as Camilla's children may see their privileges vanish. But it wasn't just the property transfer that indicated Camilla's desperation. There was a moment in December 2025 that showed her isolation even within her own family. Camilla had personally called her son Tom and begged him to spend Christmas at Sandringham. She hadn't seen him for years and wanted the family to be together. But Tom's response was a sharp rejection. He refused to come. Instead, he spent Christmas with his ex-wife. This small public rejection revealed the growing distance between Camilla and her children. The loyalty that Camilla once commanded was eroding, and everyone knew it. Camilla may have gotten the coronation. She may have fought, maneuvered, and manipulated her way to the crown, but now, with Charles's declining health, it's clear that William is next in line. And when that happens, everything changes. William is not paranoid. He's not emotional. He's methodical. He's patient. He has already made it clear that he tolerates, and when that happens, everything she has worked for could be taken from her in an instant. The monarchy will shift, and with it, Camilla's position. This is no longer just about power in the palace. It's personal. It's the battle of a lifetime. And it's just getting started.